So I have so many things to tell you today that I don't even know where to start. Um, I'll start with an announcement. Last week, we announced that we were setting up our BioCoherence Summit for October. And we sent the invite, and we spoke with Dan, and he said, "Oh, it's too sad that we don't do something, so we will do something." So Dan decided to jump on our momentum and to do his Fractal U events right at the end of our event. So if you come to France, you can come from our event is from October 2 to 7, I think, with the first part in French and the second part in English. And he will just go from October 9 to 14, I think, at the same place. So the 8 would be a transition day. We were not sure. Maybe we will do one day more. Maybe we will just all relax together, you know. But he plans with Tufan again to do something nice. So it's a great news, I think. So
I'm excited.
yeah. So if you want to travel half the world, you won't come from you will come from for you will come for a
I,
lot of different things.
I signed, I already sent my $860 American for Dan Winter because they posted the price for the room and board.
Okay.
Um,
Mhm.
and yeah, I spoke with him for, I don't know, hour yesterday, trying to resolve some issues with Phi-Ray, which I hope, Medrick, that you have the time to incorporate that.
Yeah. It's in process because he has some technical specificities for the export of his audio file, and we could streamline it and do a straight export from the app, from the harmonic boost of BioCoherence straight for the file array. Mm.
I'm I'm using your vision, the basic vision one now, and I sent it off to Nick,
Yeah.
who's the engineer for Fire. And yeah, I do that once in the morning and once at night. And I'm telling you, I pretty soon I think I'm going to start having, a run in with eagles because they're going to say, "Hey, wait a minute, you're not supposed to see like that." And it's the only thing is I was hoping that maybe you could uh the the basic programs has the voice in it, the meditation, and I was wondering if it's possible to get just the frequencies for that, because the meditation is one of the things that Nick had to manipulate. Not the meditation, but the sound, that frequency, he had to manipulate it because it's outside of the cascade, the conjugate, you know, compression cascade.
What you are working with the harmonic boost only, I think, not the meditation.
Well, so
For
just click the harmonic boot. Well, I gave him the whole. I just sent him off. Printed it. I did an MP3, and I assumed it had the meditation in it.
no, the MP3 of the harmonic boost has just the frequencies.
Oh, okay. Well, then
Mhm.
that's good.
No, it's
It's
fine.
working.
Yeah.
It's definitely working.
No, that's fine. Yes. Um, so we will have a lot of things to see during this conference. One thing I'm hoping we will see is that we want to add some gamification in the app so that we can give some incentives to user and rewards, treasures. Um, so for gamification, one thing is within the app, you have a preview in the latest dot 8, 24.8 version. You have a preview of the gamification, but it will be implemented in the next 1.25 as a beginning, because we have a lot of ideas of things to give out, and we just have to decide what events will give some treasures. So one aspect of gamification would be that for instance, if you do the meditation every day for 1 week, you will get something. If you do a few harmonic boosts, you will get something. The first time you do a scan, you will get something. And these skins will be like collectibles. So things that you want to have more. So it's a way an incentive to get more involved in your own inner journey. Another very exciting thing with gamification is what happens on the other side of this office. There, tiens, dis bonjour. ISIS is developing a game, a whole game with Unreal Engine around biocoherence. So the vision that we have is that it will be the first game in the world that will be live generated and procedurally generated around your own metrics. So you do a recording, and then you can just immerse yourself in a game. And we are designing it as a VR game first, so it will be. You will probably be able to test it at the BioCoherence Summit. Some first levels or basic mechanisms or something like that. But the idea is that you will learn in the game to heal yourself. So it's a first in the world concept. I think it's a concept that I called play to heal. And play to heal is something very strong because a lot of people are very engaged in video games and not really engaged in their own health or in their own inner attitude, you know. So being able to mix something that is fun with something that is really deep within yourself, I think it's a revolution. So
Amazing.
yeah, we have great hopes with that. Just imagine that you would be able to play 1 hour in VR or on your computer or maybe on your tablet or phone, I don't know. And then do the meditation before going to sleep. But the meditation will be connected to what you did in the game. So maybe in the game, we will learn how to make some specific mudras, for instance, with your hands. And when you do these mudras in the game, it will have some effect. And then during the meditation, you learn to do these mudras in the real life. And you do this mudra, and it will create, for instance, a cocoon of protection around you. But this cocoon of protection, you will have already used it in the game in a 3D environment with specific actions to do and so on. So it's a completely new way to learn what we call esoteric things and to learn how to develop inner abilities, you know. So yes, this is a big announcement, Kate, but I have so much to say today. So this is
How
just
will you know if the mudra in the real world did the same thing as the mudra in the game?
because we will program it like that.
You'll measure it again, you'll take another scan?
No, okay, so everything is congruent, you know. And Christine, my wife, wrote a book a few years ago that is called 33 Treasures, where she discovered 33 different energetic things in her clients' systems that you can call. And yes, Stephen is showing it. That you can call and use as a resource. And it was the beginning of the research on resources. And the idea was that you could call these particular tools with a specific mudra, for instance, and this tool would help you heal or help you, I don't know, connect with your highest being. So she developed 33 such tools, and these tools would be integrated in the game, so in the various missions that you could do in the game. And you could then learn to use them in real life. And I don't know, if you come into a heated argument with someone, you could just learn how to balance yourself in just one movement, because it will become something automatic for you. So just doing this movement with your hand, or just thinking about it, or just maybe using a keyword, can align you into a proper spirit, you know. This is just a question of training, you know. Bring it to me, Stephen. It's a new way to train yourself to be more aligned and to get some proper reflexes. Yeah. So this is one of these 2 books. It's only in French, I think. And yes, we have. It's still only in French, so we will have to do an English edition. But she has a lot of tools, and all of these tools comes, for instance, with mudras. 105. And this, by the way, yes, so it can be very simple mudras, you know. like just hands like that. Where is it? But this is the basis of what we developed. The first app we developed, which was called 33. And all of this book is included in the 33 app, which is mostly in French, I think. So we will now, for this game, we will do this additional layer of work of reintegrating all of this work, but in a more playful way. And I think it can also open all of this inner discipline possibilities to a whole new public, to a whole new demographics, because having a game to play, and believe us, we have great ambitions for this game. It will be a way to navigate your inner world in a really fun way. So I think it could be a really, really good game, and it could be a really good way to learn all of these things. And it will be tightly integrated with BioCoherence. So very, very nice.
Great idea.
Yeah. Just some new things. We have created a new sensor with Me Play 6 months back. So if you, right now we had a sensor with Pro 1 month. We had a sensor with Me Complete 1 month. And after discussing with some of you, we created a sensor with Me Play for 6 months, which is approximately the same price as a sensor with Me Complete. So it could be a pack when you need to sell a sensor with a subscription to someone, and everything is included. So it will be pre-activated with 6 months of Me Play. Last week, you asked for changing the font size in settings. This is done. So it works in the latest beta, and I think it's released in the 1.24.8 version. So you can go to settings, and on the same page where you change the fonts, you can now change the whole size of the interface. And it works not only on Electron, but also on iPad and smartphones. So that's something you asked last week, Laura, I think. Being able to resize the interface, you can now do it in the settings on every platform. Also, one thing, we decided to rename the records to explorations for several reasons. But first reason was it was a little bit confusing with a recording. A recording is the act of taking the sensor and recording something. Whereas we have named the record, which is the file with several recordings, and it was a little bit confusing. So we renamed the file an exploration. And this for several reasons. One, because it works for everybody. It works for the pro when he's trying to explore the inner world of clients and find the root causes. And it works for the user when he's doing an exploration for 21 days and he's into his inner journey with the personal guide. So I think the exploration world works very well in this context to gather a whole problematic and focus and everything around what you do during these 21 days. And we did another change for that, which is now that if you click on the record button on the homepage, if you have a recent exploration or if you have an open file, it will ask you to add a new part to this file instead of creating a new exploration, which makes sense because you don't want to create new recordings every day. You want to make one recording and define your targets, define your what you want to achieve in this 21 days. And then you want to stick with it during 21 days. And maybe you want to do some new reevaluations. And these reevaluations, now you can do directly from the homepage with the big record button. It will just open your current exploration, and record a new part. And this new part will be a reevaluation. If you don't have an exploration open, it will check that you didn't do an exploration in the last 21 days. And if you did one, it will prompt you if you want to use this one. So this, I think, is also released in the last update that has been published yesterday, which has a lot of things from the 1.25 version, but not everything. So it's not yet named 125. It's still 124.8, I think. But this function, now you can press and record from the home page. And if you have a recent file, it will prompt you to add on it. But you still have the choice to start a new one if you want, of course. And we finally have a new Mac installer with notarization, which means that starting with this version, you won't have weird security alerts and weird things to do and go to the settings to accept the installation. And the next step is to do the same for Windows, because I think, maybe correct me, Dan, but I think when you install the app on Windows, it probably makes a security alert. Does it? Dan?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So we have to correct it for Windows too.
I didn't have that problem.
Yeah. Okay. It depends if you
On
had
the phone. Yeah.
Yeah, but we have to pay for a quite expensive certificate, in fact, so that people inquire in the app and in the company and say that we are a legit company. And at that point, you won't have the security alert again for Windows. But this is something I delayed. But now that we are really releasing the app, I think it becomes important. So it's already fixed for Mac, and it will be fixed soon for Windows. We also have some startup speed improvements. Maybe you noticed it in the latest versions. We should have less crashes, but I heard some of you still had crashes, so I'm still deep into solving everything that could crash the app. So if you have such problems, please send reports, because all of your reports are really, really helpful for me to fix everything.
When it was downloaded on my Samsung phone,
Yeah.
it was a life changer for me. It's fantastic. I have it with me all the time. No glitches. It works beautifully. It recorded.
Okay,
And
great.
now I can play the harmonic boost 10 times a day. I just have my phone and I play. And I was going to ask you, is it okay to use it many times a day?
Why not? Yes.
Because I really want to attack this eye situation. So it's like I wasn't able to do it with the laptop. So
I think you
think
can
it's
play it
great on the phone.
You can play it as much as you want. In fact, some of you used the app on a phone since 1 year and didn't even notice that there was a desktop app. And conversely, you used it on desktop, but you didn't think that you could use it on the phone. So one of my idea would be to add a startup quote at the beginning when you launch the app. And it could be an inspirational quote, but it could also be a tip and tricks, And for instance, it could just, if you are on a mobile phone and we know you didn't install the Windows app, for instance, it could just be a tip and trick. And did you know you can use BioCoherence on your computer, And just for a few seconds, the time that it loads. But it could also be an inspirational quote, something that just feels good when you launch the app. So that was one of the ideas, to just raise awareness about everything that you can do with the app. Okay, so gamification and rewards will be in the next version. Just one thing about AI helpers. We did expand the AI helpers further with some new functions. That will be in the next version probably. So one is, I noticed that we have more and more people installing the app and interacting with the AI helpers without having a sensor. And that was exactly designed for that, so that the AI helpers could do a basic program for you. But people don't even see, I think, that some basic programs already exist and can maybe help them. So I noticed there was something missing in the AI, in that they were not able to access the basic programs library. So in the next version, starting with the next version, they will be able to read all the existing basic programs and maybe to load them and modify them by adding just based on an existing balance program, just adding some specific item after the discussion. And I think it will be more efficient because the AI helpers tend to do some very short basic programs with only a few items when you just chat with them without the sensor. And I think it's better if you start from one of the existing basic programs and just add some items on top of it. And speaking about the AI helpers, that's also something that we released in the latest version. We worked on the report because it was something that was needed, in fact. So you will see a brand new report in the app in the latest version, and maybe I can share my screen about that. Let me just choose something. So the big novelties on the report is that we integrated the AI helpers to write an abstract of what you need to do directly on the report. Let me see if this one has helpers. Yes, okay. So let me show you. So now when you are on the report, you see a new section that is AI helper summary. And if you go on it, you will see this new button, which is Ask an AI helper. If you click on it, it will just, you just have to choose one of the helpers so that you will have an angle of this analysis that will be added to your report. And you see, it will just show like that. So the naturopath would say, okay, this is what I see in your priorities and resources. The meditation code would say, okay, this is what I see for you to do in the meditations, and so on. And so this could be very helpful if you want to do a quick report and have a summary from an AI helper and just remove the rest. And by default, you now have only the summary, the resources, and the priorities. And at the end, how to read this report, which is this text. We also adjusted the font sizes, a lot of little details in the layout. As you can see, for instance, the logo, you now have the therapist name here, which was badly missing. And you have a little logo here. And when you print it out, it flows better in the different pages. It jumps pages when you jump a section and so on. So globally, the report is much more usable than before. And one important thing that you maybe didn't know yet, you have a new button here. So hide this section is now just something that you can check here. And you see on top, if I hide it, it becomes italic. And if it's included, it's lighter and normal. But you can directly edit contents, and that's very new. So if I click on edit contents, and I don't want to see organ groups and TCM points, I can just remove it. And if I want to add something here, this is a word from Médéric. Okay. And then I just save it like that, and it will be part of the report from now. So you can entirely change the report as you want, and you can just edit it and leave only, I don't know, only the organs because the rest you don't care.
Can you undo what you've done?
You can reset. If I click on reset, it goes back to the original one. Okay, but I think if you, let me just check if you hit, yes, you can just do Command Z or Control Z on. So if I remove that and if I do something, I can just do several times Command Z or Control Z, and it will revert. But if you do something and you are not happy with it, you can just reset it here. The reset button just appears if you started an addition, modification. But if I reset it, it will just revert to what has been generated in the beginning.
Could you please remind how do we get to this report?
How do we what? Sorry?
To get here to YouTube.
You click on PDF report here.
Okay.
So now the PDF report is, you can see it as a pre-computed report, but you can entirely modify everything except this first page. Maybe you could, I don't know. The first page is not editable, but all the other page, even the AI helpers, what they write, if you are not completely happy with it and you want to remove this one, you can just remove it. And of course, it's white now, so that will be fixed in the next version. I didn't try that. So in principle, you could edit it. And when it's edited, you have a little pencil here that says that you modified it. And it will be saved with the report. So if you save it on the cloud, the parts that you edited will be attached with the exploration that you save to the cloud. So your client will see what you edited. So I think it's an important new function because this report was more a preview of what we could do with printing out or sending out a PDF. And now I think it becomes a real tool for you to make a really interesting document for your clients. So if you start using it, and if you see anything that could be helpful for you, just give us some ideas as usual. But I think it goes in the right
You
direction.
might want to you can see a world where, say, like I did a personal customization of 5 hours, like, you know, like whatever. I just did my own summary. I might want to charge for that as an extra, like an advanced report. Do you see what I mean? So it would be interesting to see if you could like do any extra features to basically take payment from clients and stuff like that for like some advanced version. If you so chose to put hours into it to then customize it and make it 100% for them based on.
Yes, but you know, we have this vision of having the pro directory. And when we have the pro directory, every user in the world could contact every pro in the world. And one of the things you could sell on this marketplace would be a reading of your analysis and a specific report with specific conclusions according to your knowledge. So having a personal report made by a specific pro user could be something that could be paid through the app, through the pro directory. It could be one of the things that you as a pro have as offers on the pro directory.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be amazing. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Perfect.
Okay. Now for a little bit more fun. Okay, several things. We now have designed some posters. You know, we did the first poster a few weeks ago that is more graphic. Let me just show you. That's not it, of course. So we have this poster that you probably know. But we did some new posters this week, which are more explanatory for how BioCoherence works. And I'm very happy with these posters, and I think it will be the basis for the brochures that I'm working on too. So the first one is, what are the petals? So this is designed to be printed out when you do some conferences, when you do an event, or maybe just in your waiting room, you know? So this one explains everything you need to know about the petals, attention, intention, horizon, and the resonance, so the threads and the links. We try to do the poster as easy to get as possible so that anybody interested in BioCoherence could easily understand these different aspects. So the first one is on the flower.
Steve,
Pardon?
did you print this, Stephen, for the conference? You did? Okay, because otherwise I could do it for you. All right, good. All right, thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
No problem. The second one is the systems view of life, which is actually the title of another book that I borrowed, a very interesting book, The System Views of Life. But this one is on the systems theory integrated into BioCoherence. So the three main sections, which are body, energy, and spirit. And everything you can find in these different screens as a mind map. For instance, you go to body, then you go to the organ maps, and then you have some different organ maps, or you have different organ systems. You go to the meridians or acupuncture points or TCM receipts, and you have the different meridians. And each time you have some information about what you can find in the app. So I think this one is also quite interesting to explain what are the different items in body, energy, and spirits, and everything you could find in the analysis of BioCoherence. And you also have on the bottom, what are the links, what are the priorities, and what are the resources. Okay. All of these posters are available on the Google Drive and on the website if you need it. So you can just download them and print them out.
What resolution, I mean, what size can they be printed with good quality?
It's a PDF, so you can print it in 12 meters high if you want. Everything is vector, so it's not a JPEG. It's ready to print. It has been designed in A3, so A3 is a double A4, but you can print it in A1 or A2. It will be pristine anyway. Everything is vectorial, so everything could be really zoomed in, you know.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
As you can see, even the logo. The only thing that is not a vector is the QR code, but you don't care because it's squares. And the QR code leads to the homepage of BioCoherence. But you see even the logo, I think? No, probably not. But it's very high resolution, so no problem. Third one is about tests and questionnaires. And the focus here is made on you can do it here or you can do it there. So you can work remotely if you want, or you can work locally. And we grouped the live test, which is more around biofeedback, and the questionnaires, which is more about self-evaluation. So live biofeedback, remote testing, and easy to use. Okay. And the first one is about balance. So everything about balance, which are the AI helpers, your daily assistance, the harmonic boost, your daily energy, and the personal guide, your daily improvement. So this one is more for the end users, but again, unique insights, stay connected, and easy to use. So I hope these 4 posters will help you explain how BioCoherence works and everything that you can do with it. It will be integrated more or less like that in the upcoming brochure. We are working on a 16-page brochure that we will also give out to you, which will explain everything that is in these different posters with a little bit more detail, and also the commercial side, which is the different Me Pro and Med plans and the sensors and everything, the breakdown of the different subscriptions and so on. So the brochure is the last thing that we miss for easy setting of the app, I think. Easy presentation of the commercial aspect of the app. Yes. Because of what? I think because of yes. Okay, let me show you that. It's here. Okay. Because of the AI helpers on the report, I felt the need to add some explanation texts about resources and how this resource can help. And so we added this text on every biomarker, and now it's displayed on the report here under the resource theme, how this resource can help. And this is just a plain text of, okay, you have this resource, but this resource is particularly helpful for you because it has this potential. We needed this text to send to the AI helpers so that they could draw proper conclusions. But in fact, this text is very interesting, so it's also clearly available for you directly in the resource. In the actual 1.25 release, it will also be displayed here on the resource panel, which makes sense, of course, to have it here directly. And it will probably be displayed on the biomarker panel that pops up from the bottom of the screen. So I just have to check if it's not forgotten. Okay, and I think I'm okay with that. We solved some bugs, like in certain cases there was no biomarkers in the chats, in the AI helpers, if you want to do a basic program and you didn't say if you are a male or a woman. So that is solved in the next version. We solve a lot of bugs with each release, so I won't list you everything that we solved, but again, if you still have bugs, send reports because it's really helpful. Okay, I'm just at time. So we have some time for feedback or questions or anything you want to say. Steven, you want to say?
Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Steven, were you going to talk?
Yeah, no, Steven,
Steve,
just check if there are messages in the chat.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve, please.
So just checking, I know you had emailed me back about the sensors and whatnot. It just says that they're on hold currently from the shipping company.
Okay, yeah, I know we don't have the thing on the tracking system, but when we called them, they said that everything was okay. So I hope everything is fine. It's really complicated with all the new rules with USA that are popping up every day. So they keep asking us new things to be sure to have everything, but honestly, it's particularly complicated right now to send something to USA. So it should be in the system, but anyway, they said it's not blocked to us. So
okay.
I hope you'll get them in time.
When is your conference? It's on Friday, right?
Starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, starts tomorrow. Okay.
Is there, if we can't get sensors from you guys, like, is there anything else that we can do?
Well,
Talk to Dan.
I'm going to chime in here. I've got 20 me play, and I've got only 2 pro, and then I've got 2 no licenses. So, I suppose, if we overnight ship them, I mean, I could, I know that they've got pre-licensed on them. I could.
Yes, but we can switch.
Probably...
We can manage the license from here. So if we need to exchange licenses, if by security you can ship them, and maybe we can then ship you back some other ones, Dan, if you want, or maybe they ship you back. That's a possibility. Yeah.
So maybe after this call, why don't you guys, one of you, whoever, Steve, just go ahead and let's Zoom me or whatever. And I mean, today, I suppose I could go out and overnight them. If it starts tomorrow. Like I said, I've got 10. As long as it's to a major city, we should be able to do it overnight.
Yeah.
It's great, Dan. Nice one.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Would 10 be enough? I mean,
Well,
Leon, if he's still on, Leon's got some people that want some, and I know Jason wants some. So they've, been reaching out to me. I haven't really got any contact from Leon's people, but I can pop off 10 today.
We could also do pre-order and then just have you send them directly to the client rather than
That's
like
fine.
shipping
That'll
at
work.
10, blah,
Yep,
blah, blah.
that'll work. Yeah, that's
That
what I
would be
was going to
great,
do with
Dan. Thank
Jason.
you. That's great. Thank you. Wonderful. Okay.
Okay, we'll double check on our side to see if we can see something.
Kat would like to do a Zoom specifically on the live tests, so maybe we can add that to one of the webinars down the road.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
We already have one recorded on this, but we can
yeah,
make.
it was one of the early ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me find it for you.
But we can do another one because it's a big chunk.
Yeah, things have changed a lot in the past hour. That's really it from the chat. Leon, go ahead.
I missed the first 10 minutes, but I heard you guys speaking about the fact that you now can add within one report or one dashboard, you can basically check your progress. So you can basically just do re-recording, re-evaluation. That was what thank you. Could you just show that in that? Could you just screen share on that so I can see where it is?
Sorry, can you repeat that, please, Leon?
You were talking about the re-evaluation, the fact that you can now, within one dashboard or within one recording, you do re-evaluation. So if you want to do 5 recordings for a day or 5 recordings over a period, just press the re-evaluation button.
Yeah, let me just show you that. So if you are with an open recording and you click on new record, it will just pop that you have an ongoing exploration, currently open exploration, so you can add a re-evaluation or you can start a new one. Okay, but even if you close it, so you are like on a startup and nothing is open, if you do a new record, it will say most recent exploration and you can report a new part on it. Okay, so this is because this one is less than 21 days old. And because it is less than 21 days old, you are encouraged to just stay on the same focus and add a re-evaluation on it to get the curves instead of starting a new record. Because when you start a new exploration, you just reset your goal and your curves.
Exactly. So,
and by the way, just excuse me, it's the same if you want to do a live test here. If you want to do a live test, you can, oh, it's in French, okay. You can test it in the context of the current exploration, or you can just start a new one. And this is a little bit different. So if you just want to do a quick test that is not related to your 21-day program, you can maybe just start a new one. But if you want to stay in this focus, when you do a test, you can stay on the same exploration, because when you do a test, you are in fact also recording a whole new part, and it could serve as the basis for your new re-evaluation and for your progress curves. So both buttons are proposing to stay into your current 21-day program.
This is amazing, by the way. This is, again, I'm building my list as usual. You will get it definitely next week. That was one of my things, basically, because in my mind, I was like, well, one day, in that same day, I might have a idea where I want to heal this arm, this painful arm, but then I'm also dealing with an emotional trauma. But I would want, so yeah, so basically, yeah, you've done exactly what was going to be one of my major requests, actually. How would this now affect the progress? So obviously we've got the progress button. So if I do 5 recordings of me trying to, I don't know, heal this arm or whatever within that reevaluation,
you can do as many.
Is that update on the progress?
Yeah. It will appear on the progress. You can do as many recordings as you want, each recording will be a new data point in the progress curve.
Yeah, like I said, this was one of the major things that actually I wanted added. This is probably a top 3-4 thing just in terms of practicality. I mean, it just makes it so much more practical as opposed to just having these 18 different tests just having it all in one place because you've got one objective for that 21 days. Yeah, really, really good. Thank you. Really, really
Especially
good.
because we don't have yet a way to compare different explorations. I plan to be able to group them, to have like a big curve of your progress since 1 year, for instance. But this function doesn't exist yet. So if you want to see the progress curve, it will be within the 21-day frame. So for instance, you keep one exploration for 1 month, so to say, and within this exploration, you have these progress curves. And then later will come a new function that would be able to see the globality of the progress on all of your recordings for one specific user. And it will just open all the saved explorations and retrieve all the data from it and give a kind of long-term progress. And that could be on 1 year or 2 years, or the duration that you use the app from. But when you do some reevaluations, I would suggest you do one every other day, for instance, or even maybe just once a week. It's enough to get a global trend on your curves. That will change the day we release the crystal melter, the time crystal melter, because this is a function that will need to make a reevaluation at least once a day to be able to compute what you are struggling with in your 21-day program. So it would be things that are coming up and down, for instance. So you would make some progress on some specific item, and then you would revert to something bad, and then you would come again in progress, and it would not stick, and that's what I call the time crystal, which is something that circles in time, and we have designed some way to melt it and to help you overcome these blockages. So that again will be part of new functions that will be released later.
So, I mean, that just brings up my, again, one of my top 3 things. Again, I'm building the list, so we'll have 100. But the top 3 thing is filter. Is just, obviously you've got everything with energy, body, this 3 major areas, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice if you guys had just added a filter search, because you search by biomarker, but I'm not sure how to make myself clear. But basically, yeah, just oh, that was it. Because on an Excel sheet, I might want to search 4 different biomarkers, because if these 4 things, I don't know, let's say my anxiety, my confidence, and my empathy, like I want to be able to look at all of those 4 over the progress, or at least just look at what that energy is, because that for some reason will indicate like depression, for example. Whereas now you can only search individually. Whereas on an Excel sheet or on like a data analyst tool, you'd be able to group things together. Did you understand what I'm trying to go with it? Like, so I could just drill down and be like, okay, I'm trying to get to a root problem.
I can explain you this one. We have that was solved when we introduced the basic programs, because the basic programs have 2 usages. One is to be able to do something pretty standard for everybody. So these are the public basic programs, or to do a program that is not a 21-day program designed by a AI helper, for instance, and that would be a private basic program. But there is a third usage of the basic programs that maybe you didn't grasp, which is a way to save a collection of biomarkers that you like into a basic program of your own, which is a private basic program, and that you can add at once to your priorities, or that you can see as a kind of favorite biomarkers, so that you can see them all at once in the same page. And for that, you have to go to the priorities.
Could you share your screen now and do it? Just because I didn't even know about this, by the way. This is an act.
So
I had no idea that this was possible.
I'm actually showing the screen now. I just like that. I think it's better. So you go to the priorities, and you can see all of your priorities. But if you click on plus, you can pick a priority, or you can see the relevant priorities that are being computed, or you can add from a basic program here. And if you go to your personal programs, for instance, and you have one test with 4 items, you will see them here all, and you can just click on them to add them, to your priorities. Or it could be always added to your priorities if you put them into your favorite programs, which you do like that. So once you add these particular items to your favorite programs, you have a way in the settings to say that you can add a favorite program automatically into your automatically computed priorities. So that's a way to add something for all of your customers. That was the request of one of our users that wanted to add a basic program for every customers.
And just to be clear, this is only for the pro users.
Yes, this is only for the pro users. Yes.
Okay, well, I only got that account last night, so I've not even had time to go into it. Okay, no wonder I've never. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. But that is exactly what I was talking about. So yeah, whatever I was talking about filtering, that's good enough.
Yes, and for
that's
filtering,
amazing.
you have another thing, is that when you go to the priorities and you click on plus, if you pick a priority here, it will open this selector where you have all the biomarkers, but you can search by keyword here. So if you enter lung, you will find everything that is related to lungs. So the subparts, the organs, the meridian, even some parasites, if it's properly related, and the TCM receipts. So everything would be found just by searching by keyword. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I knew that. It was definitely the basic thing. That basic thing that you just opened up to me, that's just blown another world open. So thank you very much for that. That I'm going to definitely be using that 100%.
Isis, tu peux aller ouvrir un colis, s'il te plaît? Ouais.
When you're done with this, I'd like to have you go back to progress.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I've been doing, I don't have a lot of clients that have gotten this in depth, but I've been doing it for me. And, progress goes up, and then I do a test and it goes down. But right now it's like, well, what went down? What caused my progress? What caused the downward slope, right? When I look at my chakras, they're blowing up. They're all huge, right? And I look at certain things and and personality is still the same and all that. And how do I filter that? Because I've got like 5 days or 5 separate tests that are within 3-4 weeks, right? And it goes from one, where progress just keeps going up, and then I do another test, and it's like, boom, it goes all the way down, red all the way down to the bottom of the screen. Oh, what's
And
that,
so what,
right?
So what do you want to do?
Well, what I'm asking is, how do I find out what I lost? What did I do? Whether I ate something or I smoked a cigarette or, I stubbed my toe, what causes my progress to go down when it's been like 3 days, it just keeps going up. And then the fourth day, it's like the line in the progress goes, boop, drops all the way down to the bottom of the square. It's like, okay, so what is that? What did I do or what didn't I do?
First of all, the curves are only relative information. So if it goes all the way down, it doesn't mean that you are down in the bottom. It just means that you are on the minimum of this measure. So it goes back down. It's not a scale from 0 to 100, for instance. It's just a scale from your minimum to your maximum. So everything is relative like that. Second,
how do I find the minimum?
There is no minimum because there is no absolute value in it.
Oh.
Everything is relative. That is one of the strengths and one of the weak points of the app, is that we measure everything relative to each other. So when everything goes up, probably something else will go down because you are in a dynamic system. So having up and downs by itself is not such a problem. If all the biomarkers go down at a certain point, you have to ask yourself what happened before you did this measurement. But how do you think the app could help pinpoint the real problem for you? I don't know.
Well, I was just thinking, okay, so maybe my a live test or something, so that in other words, I add a protocol to the already existing list is what I'm saying. But how do I choose to add? What you know what biomarker do I add the protocol to is what I'm saying. For when which will hopefully modify the 21 day, right? And like say I'm Sam, well, I've got my iPad going and I made it through the whole thing on the iPad. This is the first time in a long time, so it might have just been technology, but yeah, it's working. But in the progress, so that's the whole idea I thought of, like live tests, right? I mean, if you're doing something and you're doing a live test, and those maybe I just answered my own question, but um, so in other words, I'm doing the 21 day, I'm on day 6. On the PC, it's not a problem. I do day 6, okay, and I do that, and then I do another reading. I'm not doing a test. I'm just doing another scan for day 8 or whatever the next one is, right? And like I said, it makes sense that the progress is just minimum maximum. It's not a true value, but I guess if I have 2 downward days, maybe something is healing. I get the point, but maybe I can enhance that by adding a protocol. And what I'm saying is do I just have to go through and click every one of them and then, find the causal chain and or maybe I turn it over to the AI helper. I'm just, how do I don't know, because it's kind of a question that somebody brought up once
Yeah,
upon a
okay.
time, and then I've
Yeah,
experienced it.
I don't have any precise idea right now, but I think about it. One thing is the AI helpers don't have yet access to the progress. That's another point maybe I should add. They just have access to your average measure, but
Yeah. And because
it would probably
doing
be
the live
helpful.
test,
Yeah.
yeah, and then that way I could even just do a live test on it to say, okay, this is what it says. I'm going to do a test on that, right? And I don't know, maybe that gets incorporated into the progress, maybe it doesn't, but I can always find out later with another scan that just gets added, like 5 parts instead of 4 parts. I do 5th part to see after the test. Or will the live test go into the open recording, which I thought you said it did.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It does as a new part. Okay, maybe this could be solved with a time crystal melter because we will focus on things that go down and up, and maybe this new way of focusing on specific issues that come back to you would be an answer to your problem.
Well, yeah, at the very least, like my eyes,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you, running that vision program, the BioCoherence Basic, through the Phi-Ray, I think works better than just the default Phi cascade, right?
Yeah.
The only thing that I need to work with on Nick is that some of the low frequencies are not tripping the transformer, so the transformer's still going, but it's not enough power to light like the right globe up, and
Yes,
and
but
then
I
times.
think this could be solved when I finish working with Nick and adapting the frequencies to the specificities of this device.
Yeah.
Maybe some too low or too high frequencies could be filtered or readjusted.
Or just put in white noise or something to augment. I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud, but
Yeah, no,
because
we will find solutions anyway.
okay, thank you, Medrick.
Okay, shall we stop there?
Just actually a quick question, which actually may not be part of the call, but is it possible to have group invitation codes for the conference on Friday, or is it just per person to use their own code, or can we create a group code?
I don't know what you mean.
TJ, do you want to explain a little bit?
You talked about having a different code so we could track people coming in from different places?
Not
Like,
under your own name though, like as BioCoherence
yeah,
USA, like
right.
But you can, you mean invitation codes?
yeah.
Yeah,
Referral codes. You can create as many referral codes as you wish.
But it will be tied to your name, TJ, or to your Steve.
Ah, okay. You want to have an affiliation on a group?
yeah, is what was requested. And then we could track, well, just because of my code could be from anywhere that I gave out, but we would know specific, like, hey, we did this conference, and down the line, maybe next week, somebody like
Okay.
doesn't bounce on it right away, but next week they did that. Oh, where'd you find out about this? And with that code, we would know that they showed up at the conference, they waited a couple of weeks, and then signed
Oh
up.
yeah.
Okay, so
Or like
I would say because each code is tied to one account.
Yeah.
So at one point we have to develop clinic logic or a therapist group logic with one account which would be the main invoicing account, and then sub accounts that would be the therapist's account. We already have this logic in the back office, but not in the app. So what we could do is create a kind of main account for you with a specific login. And when you log in within the app with this main account, it would be the one that has every one of you as members under it. But you would have to log in the app with this like head account to create the code. Or maybe you could just create the code on the website, log in on the website with this main account and create the code. And then this main account would be credited with the affiliation things. And you would just have to say what you want to do with it after that. But it would be credited on the main head account under which you are all. So I think it would be a solution for you.
Okay.
Would
So
we be able
just-
to get that by this weekend then, Medrick?
You could just create, you could just even do it. If you just log out from the app and you create another account, and we have to do it as a pro so that you have access to the invitation codes. And you just say this is the group account for affiliations.
Okay.
Yeah. Or we can just do it and send you the login. Maybe it's better.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah.
And then will there be anyone that we'll be able to contact while we're doing these, like if we have issues? Yeah.
Contact me.
You're gonna be around.
Are you gonna stay up all night?
Hey, dude. You're gonna be okay with that?
Yeah, of course. You know what you guys need for the conference, of course.
Okay.
Absolutely.
There'll be a big thank you from all of us for that, because yeah, I know it's like in the middle of the night for y'all, so thank you.
And Steve, I just had Antoine check again, and he says everything is green, so it should be on the road and probably delivered tomorrow, but he doesn't have the exact information. So let's hope it is. But
Awesome.
maybe to be sure, you can arrange with Dan to make an exchange of devices, and then either you send him back some devices, or maybe we send him back new devices with the licenses. So we can always reassign the licenses from our side.
Awesome. Thank you so
with
much.
just the serial numbers.
Well, I in not this weekend, but next weekend, I've got a table at one of the local community psychic fairs, and it would be nice to have that, because most of my contacts that are on the server, with invites, those all came from a like regional psychic fair, and gem shows and crystals and all that stuff, right? And I know those people, but there's really no way to group them. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good idea what Laura brought up, because next weekend I'll probably see some of the same people. And I'm hoping that they're going to ask me, because they didn't get my first set of invites. One of them didn't get the second set, and I think it might have been her email address. I don't know, but it would be nice to have a way to group them by the second Saturday from now.
To group?
And just go in and do an invitation code separately, and give them that invitation code. Is that what you were saying? As far as if I do it before you get the group things, so is the invitation code based? It's individually based on their email account and then their encrypted password or decrypt password. Is that how?
The invitation code is tied to your account.
Well,
So
I understand that,
to one account. So everybody that uses that will be marked as someone coming from you. So what they ask,
so then I can generate as many invitation codes as I want, right?
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
And so that one I just have to, in my mind, say, oh, okay, write it down in a log somewhere and say, okay, invitation code 123, XYZ is for this particular.
Yes, but you can write it directly in the app. When you create the invitation code, you can give a title to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And one thing, you also have this PDF that you can print, which is a threefold, interior, exterior, and you have a space here to put your contact. But here you can also put your invitation code, of course.
Sure. Yeah.
So when you go to an event and you print out, I don't know, you print out 500 or 1,000 of these items, you just put your stamp here. And when you go to a specific event, you create an invitation code in the app and you just write it on it. And when you give out this flyer, everybody will have the invitation code that you created with the title of your event. So you know where people come from then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Well, people in America probably aren't gonna like this, but like when you have to pay a bill or something, right? And then there's always stuffers in the envelope with the different coupons or whatever. Well, when I worked in the printing industry, it was really complicated because each different region got a different code, right? And it was a number that was basically on like a brochure stuffed in the envelope. I didn't think about that. That's a really good idea. That's for direct mail marketing. That's been going on in America for 60 years.
Yes, it just, in marketing, it's just a way to track what campaigns you do have impact. So it's interesting for you to know that if you do an event with 100 people and you have 50 affiliations from it, and you do another event with 100 people and you have 2 affiliations with it, well, you know it. So next year, maybe when they call you back, you can say, oh, your event was not very successful, but your event, yes, I want to come back because I had a lot of good contacts from it. So it's very useful. And you can, you can create your invitation codes directly from within the app. You go to settings. Do you want me to show that?
Yes.
I can show it quickly. So you go to settings and you have invite friends. And there you can just create several invitation codes. So for instance, here I have 3 invitation codes for 3 different networks. But if you start a new one, you will just say, I don't know, April for Feb. Okay. You can put any note like printed out on 100 flyers. And that's all. So you just save it. And now you have this specific invitation code that you can submit. And you can just copy it. If you click on it, it's copied. It's in your clipboard, and you can just print it out. And when people use this specific code, you will know that they come from. So if you list all contacts, yes, you will know where they come from.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, that is good.
So everything is directly from within the app. So it's easy. And by the way, you have a preview of the trailers, which is rewards that you will get by using the app. So it's more for the users, of course, than for you as a pro. But I think it's nice to have some rewards when you start really doing things every day. Okay, let's call it a day.
That was good. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm stopping the recording.
Great meeting, everybody. Lots of great information. Thank you so much.
Thanks. And thanks for being here.